everybody, my name is Caitlin and I am super excited to share some spooky paranormal experiences with you guys today. I just want to say thank you to Sabrina for having me on her channel to talk about all this stuff. I love her videos, I think she's amazing. So yeah, I am super excited to tell you guys my experiences. So the first experience I'm going to talk about happened not all that long ago. It was probably about a month ago that this happened, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly what this was. So the day before this happened, I was feeling super weird and strange. I was at work and I just felt like I wasn't there. I was feeling really dreamy and just really odd. And I tend to feel this way before something strange like this happens. I don't know why, but it happens. But yeah, I was telling everyone at work that I was just feeling super odd, and I got home that night and just wanted to go to sleep. So I went to sleep, and the next morning I woke up and I had to open at work, and I work at a cafe. We open really early for all the people coming through for their coffees. So yeah, I was there really early. So at this cafe, I have to take down the chairs that have been stacked on the tables overnight. So I was about halfway through doing this when something very strange happened. The cafe that I work in is quite big, I would say. The room that I was standing in is quite large for a cafe. So yeah, I started to take down another chair from a table when out of the corner of my eye I saw what looked like the figure of a human sitting at one of the seats at the back of the cafe. Now my first thought when I saw this was that it couldn't be a customer because we weren't yet open. We were just setting up for the day and there were no customers in the cafe, and I knew that the girl that I was opening with wasn't in that section of the cafe. So yeah, I was pretty freaked out and I immediately turned to get a closer look, but before I could see anything more, it disappeared. Now I was pretty shocked, to say the least. I had never seen anything like it where I work. I never really see or feel anything like that at the cafe. So yeah, I didn't know if I was just imagining things, but it felt super real. So yeah, I didn't tell anyone at work what I'd seen because I felt like they would think I'm a bit, nutty. So throughout the day I kind of forgot about it until I got home that evening. So when I got home that evening, I got in and my mum looked sad, and I didn't really know why until she told me the reason. So she told me that one of our family friends had passed away. Now this guy I didn't know very well. He was friends, or best friends, with my grandparents, and my mum had grown up with him around. And I'd only met him a handful of times, but I remember the times that I'd met him, he was just a really, really lovely man. He was just a very kind soul, and I have nice memories of him when I did meet him. But as soon as she said that, in my head, I remembered what I'd seen that morning. So I asked her what time he passed away, and she told me that he had passed away early that morning. I was kind of shocked. I mean, I don't know if they're connected, but to me it was just such a coincidence that I had seen something where I work that morning where I never see anything, and that was the time that he passed away. I told my mum later on what I had seen that morning, and she actually believed me, which was weird because she's not usually into paranormal things. She says she's never seen anything paranormal. So yeah, she believed me, and she said that a couple of weird things had happened to her after his death, just like weird coincidences. So yeah, that was my first paranormal experience, and I've got a second one to tell you as well. Okay, so this next experience happened a few years ago when I was a teenager. And it was school holidays, so my brother and I had no school, and my mum was off work because she's a teacher, so she gets the school holidays as well. And during the holidays we used to, go for drives to places and just to get out of the house. So this day we had driven to the countryside because I live kind of near the countryside, so it's not that far away. But we had driven out there, we went to a bakery to get some food to take away, and we'd also got a couple of bottles of Coke. So we started going for a drive just to find a place to eat our lunch, maybe a nice picnic area or whatever. But as we were driving through this kind of foresty area, it was like, it wasn't a proper road, it was like a gravel road. So we were driving along it and we were going through the trees when all of a sudden the car decides to stop working. And this was kind of random. It just decided to conk out. Is that the right word? I don't know, but it decided to just stop there in the middle of this foresty area. My mum didn't really know what was happening, so she got out of the car just to have a look to see what was going on, and then she told us just to eat our lunch in the car and she was going to call someone. So my brother and I were sitting in the car and we started eating our food, and then I opened up my bottle of Coke and I had a drink, as you do, but about a minute later something really strange happened. So I was sitting there. I've actually got a Coke to, you know, kind of demonstrate what happened. But so I was sitting there, the lid was off, and all of a sudden the Coke inside the bottle just whoosh, fizzed out of it. You know when you shake a bottle like this and you open up the lid, if it's full and it's still carbonated, it'll go whoosh. Well, that's what happened a minute after I'd taken off the lid. So the lid wasn't even on the bottle. What the heck? It was so confusing. I was freaking out, and yeah, me and my brother didn't know what was going on. But it doesn't end there. A couple of minutes later, my brother was sitting there with his bottle of Coke and it didn't have a lid on either. When all of a sudden, psh, out comes the Coke and it spills all over his lap. What? We were so confused because we didn't know if it was scientifically possible for Coke to come out of a bottle if it hadn't just been opened. Like, what? I have googled this and I can't find any explanation. So if any of you can explain this and debunk it as anything paranormal, let me know, because I can't find any explanation. So the reason that fizzy drinks fizz up when you open the lid is because of this. An unopened soda can is virtually bubble free because the pressure inside the can keeps the carbon dioxide dissolved in the liquid. When you crack open the can or bottle, you release the pressure and allow the gas bubbles to wiggle free from the liquid and rise to the surface. So basically, because you release the pressure that is in the bottle or the can, that is why, if it's been shaken up, out it comes. So it doesn't make sense that after the lid had been opened for a minute or two, the drink would just come out like that. It just doesn't make any sense. If it had just happened to one of us, like just to me, say, I would kind of think that's a bit weird. Maybe, I don't know, like just something strange happened, whatever. But since it happened to both of us, that's when it kind of got a bit strange. So yeah. So yeah, my mum ends up getting back in the car and what do you know? The car is working again. It just had randomly stopped for no good reason and wasn't working, and yeah, now it was working again after the weird Coke situation. Even to this day, this whole situation really confuses me. I'll bring it up to my brother, and my brother is extremely skeptical when it comes to anything paranormal or weird. And I'm like, yo, do you remember that time that our Coke just randomly fizzed out of the bottles? And he's like, yeah, that was pretty weird. So I think that brings us to the end of my paranormal experiences, or what I consider to possibly be paranormal. Yeah, if any of you out there know any explanation for the fizzy drink situation, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching me talk about my paranormal experiences. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Thank you to Sabrina again for having me on her channel, and yeah, bye.